What's up, worldwide family? How are y'all doing? Welcome back to the channel, Jimmy Flippin' Deals. First day back to my actual day job after just about 8 days off, working on my business. I know y'all can't see the difference, but I promise you there has been. What y'all didn't see was a huge, I say huge, decent haul day before yesterday, I believe, because I started a video yesterday, but I accidentally said some personal information that I didn't want to put in there, so I went ahead and did not upload that video. But nevertheless, I managed to get 130 units of clothing for a song and dance, of which I've already sold 4, but they were individual clothing, so it took a long time to list. Not only that, they were at the top, so they got worked first. But we're almost, no, we're not even done. I see them in the back corner. But I did get some things that were, I have made some room in here. The problem is it's not a problem, it's the way it is. I just keep shopping, right? Now the blankets in here, they are listed. I have the comforters that you see right behind me. They are already listed. I do have some in my inventory inside, so I'm not as concerned with those. I know you keep seeing those as the backdrop, but they are listed, so they are in work. So happy about that. Do need to pick up some more totes. I'm about at the end again of totes, which is awesome. Got quite a few packages heading out today. Not a huge amount of money, but in all honesty, real close in the last 24 hours to pay bills money. You know what I'm saying? And not that I use it for that. I'm just saying it's decent. Very happy about that. There were some things that I discussed yesterday that I wish I would have gotten out yesterday, but I'll go ahead and put them out there. There's quite a few things. The Google merchant account, I think I touched on. Right now my account's currently suspended for, they call it misrepresentation, but what it, in all honesty, is not enough information on the site that leads back to me. So they want to make sure Google has a responsibility to the community as they see it, and honestly, it's the right position to have, that they want every business that's on Google to be verified, trusted, given good products, giving the customer the shopping experience that the customer would want. So they do err on the side of caution. And right now I am stuck in the middle of that erring on the side of caution, which is fine, but I have, for the better part of a year and a half, have not really dealt with it. I tried to start being a Google merchant this time last year. I found the process too difficult, and I abandoned the effort in order to get there. Well, I don't know that that's helped anything, but as I've been on vacation, I've tried to pick up that fight, not fight, it's not the right word, but that direction again, and devote some more energy to it. And I did find out quite a bit of what they wanted. Now, let me be clear, I have never successfully uploaded a product to there. I uploaded 400 and something, 500 and something, at one point, and they rejected all of them. You could see them on there, but they rejected them. There was errors in every single one of them. Google judges you on your total website experience, and with at the time 500 and something, I think now I'm just below 500, but it was almost 600 at the time, at the peak of products, and they all errored out. So I had 600 errors fighting against my website, for one. But I made a decision while I was on vacation to go ahead and stop the feed entirely. and work on getting a product, because you only need one to be a Google merchant, getting a product successfully loaded. After a year and a half of not being able to get a product loaded, I now actually have 2 that have successfully uploaded. I do know how now to do that. Not only that, I did ask for a review with Google on the merchant account, and although I did what I thought that they asked, I did not get unsuspended. So I'm not really sure I've done everything they've asked as far as I can see it. But the gain is, not only did I get 500 and something items that were erroring out off of the system, so my site as a whole looks better. I did get 2 successfully loaded. I learned how to get them loaded. I wish I knew how to sync them with the rest of my inventory, but as it sits now through other marketplaces, I have to manually adjust across all of them anyways. So at this point, the win is to just keep doing it that way with Google also. So when it sells off Google, then pull it off of my Shopify, and pull it off of Amazon, and pull it off of eBay, and pull it off of all of the other, marketplaces. You get the idea. So in a week, they tell me I have a week cooldown. I found a couple different people that say if they can't get me unsuspended, contractors, if they can't get me unsuspended, then I don't have to pay. So at the moment, I think that's what I'm going to do here in a week, after Google's cooling off period from 2 subsequent reviews and suspensions. After that period, I'm just going to hire somebody to go ahead and run through my website and figure that out. I think that's the best use of money, resources. I think that's the best win at the moment. So that's what I'm going to do. You got people that just park in the middle of the road. Parking lot race. I'll be right back, guys. All right, so hopefully in a week or so, my Google Merchant account will be fixed. And now that I know how to manually upload items, I should be able to get my listings running on Google, which is awesome. It's still, originally in my naive mind, I thought, well, if I can get on Google, I won't have to deal with eBay, I won't have to deal with Amazon. Not to say that I won't, but I'm just saying I'd keep all your eggs in one basket kind of deal. I thought that once I could, in one, like I said, naive mind, once I built a business on Google, then I wouldn't need them anymore and wouldn't have to use them. And although that very well may be true, the reasons I was avoiding eBay and Amazon, as far as companies doing intellectual property complaints and stuff, which are false. They have no reason to throw their legal weight around and say that my authentic, ethically sourced merchandise, and those are legal terms to some extent, merchandise are counterfeit, which they're not, and I'll talk to you about that here in a second. A run-in I've had that seemed to work out for the better. It was the most beneficial one so far, but nevertheless, that thought process was not accurate, because you run into the same stuff on Google as you do on Amazon and on all of the other marketplaces. So it's not getting away from anything, it's just more of the same. Now that being said, it is another revenue stream, that although it could ultimately turn out to be something very awesome. They do have a lot of free listings available. You do get some coverage, and provided that your price point is competitive, sometimes you can beat out the people on the front page. I often, when looking at Google Shopping, do make it to the second or third page, and that's where those free listings are. You know, I'm not the kind of company that would pay for that front page listing at the moment, but that second and third page could be beneficial, provided that my price point's, you know, on par, and the percentages are much better through Google Merchant than they are through other marketplaces. So ultimately, ideally, it would be nice to sell through there. So let me see, what else? I did talk about that intellectual property complaint. I'd mentioned a few weeks back, or a week back, 2 weeks back, I don't know, it's been some time, that I had a run-in with Dr. Scholl's, and they had alleged through a marketplace that the items that I was selling were either counterfeit, not authentic, or not ethically sourced. I said, so you're calling me a counterfeiter or a thief? Which one is it? You know, nevertheless, I did send a strongly worded letter back to them, threatening, without disclosing my source on where I buy things, because it is absolutely none of their business where I buy them. If they have information that my items are not ethically sourced, then that's a different story, which they are. I just don't want to dig through thousands of receipts, literally thousands of receipts, to find their receipt. And I didn't have that many. You know, if I had 100 units or something, it might be one thing. I literally had 3 pairs of shoes on the market. When they first hit me, they hit me on a Friday. I dropped my price. I ended up selling 1. I had 2 left come Monday, and they sent me a second warning, much stronger warning, and I hadn't made contact with them. So in response to it, I contacted them, and I mentioned that, well, I'll just go ahead and, I wish almost that I had it here, because it's not going to come out the way that I wrote it. I spent a little time on it, but nonetheless, I told them that, you know, that my items were ethically sourced, they were authentic, and should they insist that they're any different, then I would have them graded for authenticity and build their company accordingly. Not only that, but the slanderous attempts at affecting my revenue stream would be taken into account, and should they feel to further disrupt my income, then I may look at what means I have to protect my federally protected first sale doctrine rights. And I got a response back from them that says, apparently we got off on the wrong foot. Apparently we got off on the wrong foot. Our only concern is that you are selling, you know, at first it was, you're not an authorized retailer, yada yada, we wouldn't cover the warranty. I told them they were responsible, since it was a business-to-business sale and not a retail sale. They were, in fact, responsible for covering the warranties that they put on their products. And if they didn't, that would be something in between the customers and them, because it was never sold at retail. It was a business-to-business transaction at a retail establishment, making it a wholesale transaction. Anyway, maybe we got off on the wrong foot, they said. Their only concern was that they were authentic. But yada, 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 they were going to drop everything. They weren't going to mess with me anymore. So that was actually my first win. Now, I did tell them that since it was 2 items, that if they did, in fact, cease and desist, that I would remove those 2 items from the marketplace. They're on other marketplaces. But that marketplace in question. Now, I did happen to mention that I had held those shoes for a year, that I'd found their product to be absolutely worthless. In all honesty, it's not Dr. Scholl's fault. It's a bad size. I mean, they were like 5 and 5.5 in women's, and they were work shoes. So, I mean, tiny. But I told him I found your product to be absolutely worthless, which in fact is probably the reason that the company that you authorized to sell them was so willing to sell them to me at a discount. So, anyway, I was happy that they did in fact cease and desist as I requested, so was good with that. There are other things for me to tell you about, but I am out of time, guys. First day back at work after being gone a week. I almost didn't want to come back, but a slow day at home on business showed me I'm not ready to do without a job yet, so it's time for me to go to work. Y'all have a wonderful day. Comment something in the comment section. Thanks, guys.